Hello, welcome to Indian Techies. Today we are going to discuss about nested functions. In our previous class, we have seen interfunction communication, right? Or categories of function, whatever you want to go. Now in today's section, we will be seeing nested function. What do you mean by nested function? Like in our previous videos, we have seen nested if-else, right? So a if writing inside a if or if else, whatever it may be. In the same way, a function writing inside a function, generally we will thinking in that way, but this is not in that way. Inside a function definition, if you are able to call another function or execute another function, then we will be calling that one as a nested function. For example, there is a function definition like function 1 is there. Inside this, we will be writing some executable statements or normal declarations, calculations, anything. Inside this function 1 definition, if you are able to execute some other function, right? Like this, there is another function called as function 2. So this is its definition. Means this is function 1, this is function 2. Inside this function definition, if you are able to call another function, then such type of functions are called as a nested functions. Right? Now this is function 1. Inside this I am executing function 2. How it will be done? For example, execute first line, second line, third line, fourth line, so on. Here you are calling this function. So compiler directly jumps to this function, executes all the lines inside this function, then again it comes back to the function 1. Again it continues with the next line of the functions that are available in function 1. This type of function, a function which calls another function in its function definition, is called as a nested function. We will see a basic and small example program for explaining this nested function. Now, we will see an example program for nested function. Now we are going to calculate a formula called as, that is, D is equal to A by B plus C. Now what we will do is, for calculating this total equation, we will execute one function, function 1 for example. After calculating, we will also perform a separate function for this B plus C. Means if you want to calculate this total final calculation or equation, you must also get this calculation by a separate function. We will implement this one using nested function. So totally I need two functions. First, as usual, hash include stdio.h. Right? Now, I am declaring two functions. Void, we need a return type. So the calculation also will be in the form of integers. I am not going to take fractions. Whatever the result it may be, I am going to display in the form of integers only. For example, the return type is integer. So function name I am giving it as fun. For this function, I want to send 3 integer variables, because to get the results I need A, B, C, 3 integer variables. So I declared 3 integer variables. Next, for these two denominator calculation, I am taking one more variable int den. So if you want to calculate this, you need only two values, B plus C. So int comma int. This is another function. Now my function declaration is completed. Let us start the main execution. So how the main will be executed? That is void main. I am declaring 3 variables, that is int A, B, C, D. A, B, C are the input and D is the result. Right? Now take input for this A, B, C values. That is printf /n, that is in the next line. Enter 3 values. Right? Now scanf %d, 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 ampersand A, ampersand B, ampersand C. Now I have taken 3 values as a input. After taking these 3 values as an input, now I have to execute this function by sending. That is, D is equal to execute this fun function by sending A value, B value and C value. As I told you that A, B, C I have taken input. This fun function also is having 3 variables. So these 3 are matched. So this function will calculate in some way and it will produce the result. That result will be returning back and it will be stored in D. So print the result. That is printf result is equal to percentage %d, that is also variable d, and close main. This is how you are going to write the main function of this above calculation. Now what is pending? We have to calculate this total equation. How we are going to calculate? We will see the functions individually now. Now let's see those function definition independently. Now first one is int fun. We have given the name as fun. Here also, to avoid confusion, I am declaring the same variable names int a, int b and int c. But since this ABC does not collision with that ABC in the main, because that is local in that function, this is local in this function, right? Now that A value comes and stores here, B value comes and stores here, C value comes and stores here. For the purpose of result, here I am taking one more result, that is D, variable D. Now I am writing formula. D is equal to A value. I have directly, so A by. So I have to calculate B plus C. So for the purpose of calculating B plus C, we have taken some other different function called as denominator. So execute DEN by sending this B comma C values. So total value, if you want, you can keep it in bracket to avoid calculation problems. So now this function will be there. It will go to that function, execute it, and it will give one integer as a result. That result will be replaced here. A by that value will be calculated and this total value will be stored here, and you have to return D. Now this is called as nested function. Means inside a function definition, again I am executing one function. Means generally there will be a belief that nested function means writing one function inside the another function. Means inside one function definition you are defining some other function. No, that is not correct. You have to call some other function inside another function definition. Is called as a nested function. This is how we write. Now this function will be calculated by executing this function, nested function. This is fun function. Now one more function that we are pending with is DEN B comma C. How this function is being executed. For example, see here int DEN. Here also I have declared 2 variables. So same names I am declaring to avoid problems. So simply I can write it like return within the brackets B plus C. So what happens here is this ABC values comes here. A value is directly substituted here as a numerator. This B and C I am sending it to a denominator function. So automatically compiler jumps to denominator function. This B comma C stores in this B comma C and calculates this B plus C and returns result back to this place. Now denominator has result. A by this denominator value will be calculated. That value will be stored in T. Now we will say return D. This D value goes to the main because fun is a function which you have called in main. Right? This is how you are going to perform nested functions. A function calling another function in its definition is called as a nested functions. Hope you understood the concept of nested functions. Please like, comment, subscribe and share our Indian Tech Case videos. Thank you.